Hey everybody, welcome back to Freedom Wanderer. I'm Chuck McDonald. I'm so happy you have joined me here. Today it's kind of cloudy, it's kind of overcast, but I had a request for this. You can see I'm here in the parking lot of our local dive shop. It's not open yet, it's kind of early. You can hear traffic kind of passing by. Today I am in Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. I had a request to do the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk. So if the rain holds out, I'm going to try to take you on this marsh walk and let you guys see everything that's out there, fishing spots, places to come eat, and kind of introduce you to downtown Murrells Inlet a little bit, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so the reason I parked over in front of my local dive shop that I love so much is this is the main little street coming down through what's called the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk, where on this side of the road there are tons of restaurants, and I'm not going to list all the restaurants, and I will tell you my favorite restaurant and maybe get some footage of it, which is Neptune's, and I'll tell you the reason why when I'm there. The reason I park on this side is always free during the season and sometimes during the days. If you are not eating at one of these restaurants, you have to pay to park. So make sure, if you're a visitor, you've never really been here, don't understand how the inlet works, sorry, that's my umbrella flapping, that you realize this is the marsh, this is the inlet itself, this is the other side of the street. On this side of the street is free. On that side of the street, if you're not eating at one of the restaurants, they will charge you to park. I'll show you the sign where you flash the little barcode and it'll set you up. All right, so as we come down, I'm up toward the north end of the Marsh Walk, around Drunken Jack's and where they keep all the dive boats and the stuff for express water sports. Tons of restaurants, and you'll hear some music in the background. I will have to cover that, so I will narrate as much as I can. This is where people walk. There is not a lot of fishing that people do down on this end. It ends right down there, just past Wahoo's restaurant. You can see all the boats out in the inlet itself. That's my favorite dive boat to go out on. This across the way is called a goat island. Those are fake goats that you see, but during the summer they actually bring the goats out, live goats, a local farmer does, and lets them stay over there. But you can see the inlet, those buildings you see in the far distance, that is Garden City. Right on the other side, that is Garden City Beach. So that's how close we are to the ocean. So let's continue to walk a little bit. Plenty of things to take pictures with down here. Arr. So this is where I came in at. Let's walk down the Marsh Walk for a little bit. You can see basically this is it. You have restaurants all on one side, plenty of places to eat and drink, and you have the inlet on the other side. This is where a lot of people just come out and walk. It's early morning, it's raining, there's really nobody here. This is a good time to film. People don't look at you like you're crazy. You will encounter wildlife here. Strangely enough, the water's kind of clear, so he's actually fishing. Looking down in the water, he can actually see it. Lots of boats. Morning. There's a lot going on this morning. People putting, like you can see, food trucks out and stuff. There's a thing going on this weekend, February 24th and 25th. You'll see this video after, but called the Taste of the Marsh Walk, where people actually will come down and test different types of food. There's a little ice cream hut right here. Pretty much anything you want to get into down here food wise is going to be here. I will show you this, you can rent jet skis, you can rent these pontoons and take them out into the inlet itself. There are these rides you can take out that allow you to, I don't know, just go look at the inlet, see the local life. So we're making our way to that real long pier that goes out into the inlet. That's where I am heading towards as we walk down in front of all these restaurants. This is the Claw House. All of them are good. I'm not a food critic, but all the food at all these restaurants are good, and you can basically get any type of food you're looking for at any of these restaurants. And yes, absolutely, local fresh fish will be in there. Okay, so when you use these public parkings, this is what I was talking about. You'll have to use to park at the restaurants. You can see the Marsh Walk as I'm continuing right there. Have these gravel parking lots. A lot of people think they're free. They are if you eat at the restaurant. If not, you will have to pay. All right, there is music playing in the background. This is a part of being out on the Marsh Walk, so I may have to cover some of this with my own music to keep from getting copyrighted. But I'm walking past Neptune's, and I wanted to tell you about Neptune's. This is my favorite place to come for two reasons. It's not that the food is so much better, but it's where it's located. If you've watched me on YouTube, right over there, that's the boat landing where all the boats come in and out. And you can see that big gray seawall, and that big church is called Belin, B-E-L-I-N, Methodist Church. They have a park out front where you can just go stand and watch the boats come in and out. So I love to sit outside of Neptune's. There is a huge 2-story playground for my grandkids to play on while I eat and enjoy some quiet time, right? And so I love to sit there for that. And they do have a blue crab grilled cheese sandwich that is the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. It's my favorite. And so this is part of the Marsh Walk. A lot of people don't realize it, where you can come out and look at the boats in the marina. There's boats on each side of this restaurant. That's Wicked Tuna. And you can come out and look straight out over the inlet and just get a breathtaking view. Now when you're here, and I'll show you one more spot, you can come here and the sun sets right over that church every day, usually somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, so that's the part of the inlet I was walking. And so see, it comes down into that parking lot I was showing you and takes a hard left in the direction that I'm going. And then it goes out over the marsh. You can see dolphin tours, lots of boats, jet ski rentals, jet boat rentals, tiki hut rentals, all that good stuff. So we're walking past the tuna shack, and you can see off in the distance we're going to walk way out on that pier. So you do have places to sit and enjoy and watch. Now I will tell you, this is where you want to come fishing. All docks are public docks, but these docks over here are usually crowded with people. and they do not let you fish that close to people. So you can come out on this dock. I've been out here and watched people blue crabbing, fishing. What they were fishing for, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not much of a hook and line fisherman, so I don't know what bait they were using or reels and rods. But for all you fishermen, if you don't own a boat and you just want to come fish and throw a hook in the water, this is the end of the inlet you want to do it at. It is located right here. This is Crazy Sisters Marina. That's the tuna shack. That's Wicked Tuna, the big building in the distance. And this is where you're gonna want to come fishing for all my fishing buddies that are out there, especially the one that asked me to do this video. There you go, Stan. So, and as we get further out, I'll show you some more shots. Quiet, peaceful. It's not always that way. Birds. Don't ask me what kind of birds those are. I don't know. If you know, drop it in the comments. So you'll have to look real hard, but there's a group of pelicans, a flock of pelicans, or whatever you call it right there. This is the other side of Goat Island. This is the far side out into the inlet. You can see what looks like a beach. That is actually shells. It is just covered in shells. That is not sand. So we're walking to the end of the pier. I hope you can see it. I'll get real still. Way in the distance, you can see those high-rise hotel buildings. That is where Myrtle Beach starts. So that is basically, well, Surfside. Those are Surfside, and then on up from that a couple miles is where Myrtle Beach starts. So I was wrong. That's probably Surfside, where Surfside is. Anyway, out in the distance, I can barely see it. I know you won't be able to see it on here. Is Myrtle Beach, but that's Surfside, Garden City. All the water you see here is the inlet called Murrells Inlet. Oh, look at this. I can show you. That is all shells. What looks to be mostly oyster shells. Not live oysters, but just washed up oyster shells. I see some other shells down in there, but if you're a shell hunter and have a boat, you would love these places. This is the end of the Marsh Walk itself. Now we are way out in the inlet. You can see that big white boat in the distance right there. That's the dive boat where I started. So it comes out and we go out this way and out that way and out, and the inlet itself into the ocean is right at the end of all those buildings, and the trees you see that start away from those buildings is Huntington Beach State Park. So that is the inlet itself that gets you into the ocean. And this is the marsh. I forgot what they call it, like an estuary, I think. It's known as Murrells Inlet itself. This is my jam. This is where I love to come. I love to hang out, where I spend most of my time. I am not a Myrtle Beach person, although my address says Myrtle Beach. I love being at the beach. I love being down here, but you can see, that's it. There's your Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk. This is the fishing end. That's the walking end. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. So there's a paddle border way in the distance right there. Water temperature is about 53 degrees. I hope they don't fall in. Now we are starting to get some sunshine finally peeping through the clouds. So basically the sun rises there, and if you come out on a good clear night, it sets right there, somewhere in that area every night. They have sunset cruises here that I have taken that are beautiful, but if you don't want to take the cruise, you can walk out to the end of the pier, chill out, watch the sun go down. All this is well lit at night, so you can see to walk. There are lights everywhere. It's never dark. summer, so sunsets are awesome. And hey, look there. Yeah, I started talking about you, Mr. Sunshine. So maybe one day I'll get you a sunset out here. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, or if you have a little bit more information that you want to share with people who will watch this video, more than happy to share them in the comments. Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk is a beautiful place. I love to come here. I'm actually going to try to come out to the Taste of the Marsh Walk this weekend, and if I do, I'm going to try my best to get some footage for you. Love it, guys. Peaceful, quiet, very windy. That's the ocean. If you're going to live on the coast, you're going to deal with wind. So I hope you can understand what I'm saying in all this wind. But there you go, the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk, all that, and then it turns and it comes right down here to where I am now at the very end. For you fishermen out there, this is the fisherman's area you want to be in, down through here. A lot of fishing. You can see where it's not very deep. I've been looking, but I know it won't show up on camera, so I haven't shared it. It's not very deep, but this is salt water. This is not brackish water. This is salt water. You have to deal with the tides here. You have to deal with salt water. You do have to have a saltwater fishing license from the state of South Carolina, which I think you can get a one-day one if you just want to fish one day and not spend it for the whole year, which is not that expensive anyway. But anyway, love you guys. Mean it. Thanks for hanging out with me here at the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk today. Even though it's not sunny and the weather's not the greatest, still a beautiful day at the Marsh Walk. So anyway, come down. When you come down visiting, all you people from around the country and around the world, when you come to Myrtle Beach, make sure you come to the Murrells Inlet Marsh Walk. Great restaurants, great people. Everybody's laid back, kind of hanging out, walking around, just enjoying the atmosphere. So anyway, we hope to see you on the Marsh Walk one day. We'll catch you in the next adventure. Remember, life is an adventure, my friends. You got to get off the couch and go live it. We'll see you in the next adventure.